Right, hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 52 of Magnificent Mondays, where this week we're doing the classic film from 1953, H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, produced by George Pal and directed by Byron Haskin, and starring Gene Barry and Anne Robinson, and many, many more. So, before we start though, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment in the comments area. Join us in the live chat, because we are live. And all that stuff. Right, we should be live on YouTube. Fingers crossed. Is it going to come on? Yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Yes, we are. And we should be live on Twitch. Yay! Crack, it's all working. Something's got to go wrong. 52 says Win Grace. That's 10 too late. As in 42, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. I'm guessing. And Wingrace said, when I set up the stream a few days ago, he said, let's hope nobody sees the stream and thinks it's real, obviously referring to the 1938 Orson Welles radio broadcast, which I listened to today. Well, sort of. I think I nodded off part way through it. I was listening to it with my cat on my chest like that. And I think I nodded off. Anyway. So there's that. And Josh Temple's here, a harpoon at the ready to skewer Martians and all that stuff. 52 was my football number. Oh, very good. Very, very good. As in American football, not proper football, like what we play over here. That American football. Anywho, so this is what we're watching. War of the Worlds. This is my DVD copy, which has some decent special features. Got a nice little documentary on. It's got the Orson Welles War of the Worlds audio thing on, radio play, so listen to that. And it's got two commentaries, which I've listened to both of those as well. So I've watched this film 3 times today. Shows you how much I like it. Anywho, right, so I said be live and all those things, didn't I? Links in the description for my Facebook, X and Instagram, and links to my books are in there, blah 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 blah. I've also got a Patreon page and a store where you can get t-shirts like this and stuff and other things. So there we go. So that's that out of the way. Right, the film. Right, so released in 1953, surprisingly released in the UK before it released in America on wide release. They had a Hollywood premiere, but if you listen to Anne Robinson in the commentary, she says there were no premiere. But according to Wikipedia, there was a premiere in February of 1953 in Hollywood. Maybe that was like an advanced screening or something, because she does mention they did a screening and 2 parts of that film the audience laughed at, so they took it out. So maybe that's what she meant. Anyway, released in April of 1953 in London and August 13th, 1953 in New York. So there we go. So we got it first. Had a budget of $2 million. Box office US rentals of $2 million. I don't know what the worldwide gross is. What I don't know. But it is a classic film, and it's in the what they call it, the National Film Registry in the Library of Congress as, culturally significant movie. Right, so obviously based on War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. It doesn't bear much similarity to it, really. It's set in contemporary times, not in Victorian times. And it doesn't have doesn't have that, because that didn't exist. That's the 1978 Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds, which is one of the greatest albums of all time. If you haven't heard it, where have you been? Go and listen to it. It's astonishingly good. Right, so we just get on with the film, shall we? We'll just get on with it. Obviously, we won't just be watching the film, because, YouTube will throw a fit. So we'll be watching a series of stills. I may play the odd snippet. I try and remember all my info. I've got some notes, as usual. For instance, first note, we'll just get into it. Filming was halted briefly 2 days into filming when Paramount discovered that its filming rights of the novel were only for a silent version, because Paramount got the movie rights for War of the Worlds in 1924, so it took them nearly 30 years to get the film out. Anyway, it was resolved after talking to the H.G. Wells estate, and they sorted it out so they could carry on filming. Then, so imagine this might have been a silent movie. Anywho, Archmage Frey says that this movie could use some Rush though. Did they do something? I'm not really into Rush. On the only Rush song I know is Spirit of Radio. So anyway, I know they did the 2112 album, which people seem to like, but I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to it. I'm not a big Rush fan, to be completely honest. Anywho. Right, so film, let's get on with it. Right, so I'll full screen this baby. The film is in 4:3, so I can't do anything about that. It was released right on the nub when, I can't remember who it was, one of the studios developed, Panavision, widescreen stuff. But it was released in, was it 1:33:1 Academy ratio? That's what they call it, don't they? But in Europe, apparently, it was what they call it, projected or whatever in 1:66:1, which is like nearly widescreen, isn't it? But every version I've seen is in 4:3. But never mind. You don't know Tom Sawyer? Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I do. If I heard it, I'd probably say, "Oh yes, I know that one." But it does ring a bell, actually. It does ring a bell. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? So off we go. Hang on. Got to make myself titty tiny, haven't I? Get rid of that and pop myself down there in the corner. Right, off we go. There it is. Right, here we go. There we go. A Paramount picture. Cool. So anyway, we begin with like a newsreel in black and white when it comes on. There we go. World War One. We get Paul Frees, who apparently is a famous vocal person in the US. Did a lot of voiceover stuff. Telling how, World War One man killed himself a lot, and then in World War Two did it even better. There we go. And then now in the age of super science, we've developed new terrible weapons that and all that stuff. There we go. Begin the War of the Worlds, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes to colour. And off we go. There we go. Loosely based on the novel by H.G. Wells. And don't bother with the starring. There's essentially no stars in this, although Gene Barry and Anne Robinson are the two leads. But it just says, with, bang, a list of people. And commentary by Sir Cedric Hardwicke. That we're not going to hear it in a minute, but anyway. Soup or science? I'll have the soup. Yes, soup, and it actually doesn't say soup; it says super science, doesn't it? Anyway, that's a cool name, isn't it? Housley Stevenson Jr. Who the hell did he play? Housley Stevenson Jr. See if I can find him. General Man's Aid. All right, very good, very good. What's the difference? Oh, right, sorry. Right. Off we jolly well go. Right. Screenplay by Barry Lyndon, not the Kubrick film, a different one. And by the way, there we go. Makeup supervision, Wally Westmore, who's one of the relations of Michael Westmore. Is he Michael Westmore's uncle? I can't remember. We talked about it, didn't we, recently? And costumes. So when did they say gowns? They used to say gowns in the old days. I missed that. Gowns by Edith Head. She's super famous, isn't she? Albert Nozaki, he designed the Martian war machines that we're going to see in a bit. Musical score by Leith Stevens. It's a decent score, but you don't really notice it a lot, to be completely honest, apart from this part, because it's just the credits, but you don't really notice it. But anyway. Right, so there were lots of special photographic effects. I don't think it even mentions the chap and his daughter who did the aliens, the Martians that we see. Not in there at all. Not in there at all. And I've forgotten his name. Gamora, something his name is. Hang on, I have to check. I've got it in me notes somewhere, if I can find it. I think I have. I bet I haven't. Now I've said that. I think it's Charlie Gamora and his daughter. I think she's called Diane, I think. did the actual Martians that we see, but they don't get a credit for some weird reason. Not that I've noticed. Oh, yeah, there we go. Produced by... Oh, for God's sake. There you go. Produced by George Pal, who, produced a lot of sci-fi, Destination Moon, and others. And directed The Time Machine, one of my favourite films, which we've covered in Magnificent Mondays. And directed by Byron Haskin. According to Anne Robinson, his nickname was Bunny Haskin. So when I hear that, I just think of Bunny from Extras, the I forgot his name now. Ricky Gervais comedy series. If you've seen it, you know what I'm on about. Right, so we begin with Cedric Hardwicke speaking to us. We're looking at Mars. It begins like the book begins, No one would have believed in the book it says in the last years of the 19th century, but in this, it says in the middle of the 20th century, that human affairs were being watched from space, or whatever. I'll have the science. Science makes whiskey. Sorry, I had a really funny joke, but I missed the timing, so you'll have to wait until George Pal comes back in something. Well, he appears in it briefly. We'll see him as a bum later, if we land on that bit. Anyway, so we've got Sir Cedric Hardwicke talking about the Martians are watching us, and this is where we learn that Mars is a dying planet. This is what they're showing us. With the canals, they're showing us the canals there, and the Martian city with a little red light on that keeps going, blinking on and off. So Mars is dying in this. So they've got to look out to other planets to see where they can evacuate to. And then it begins. They look to Pluto. Oh, for God's sake. They look to Pluto. There we go. They could not go to Pluto, outermost of all the planets. I'm not going to say anything. We know. I know. It's not. We know it's not. It's not even a planet now, is it? It's a minor planet. Sorry, it just is. It never was a planet. Just because it was discovered in 1930 by, what's his... I forgot his bloody name now. I'm blanking on his name. I could have if the camera wasn't on, it'd come straight to me. But it's never been a planet. It's not in a planetary orbit. It's not in the plane of the ecliptic. It's never been a planet. They just wanted to call it a planet because they thought, it's a planet. Anyway. Yes. Pluto. Hello, Sci-Fi Quest. We're on Pluto. How do you know? From the back, you dummy. Anyway. You'd think they would have started next door. Yes, they're going to leave Earth till last. And they're going to miss out Venus for some reason. Now I know why they're dying. Yes. It's a planet. No one can take that from me. No, it's not. It's a minor planet. The king of the Kuiper Belt. That's what it is. Or I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that we find out that it once was a moon of Neptune that got knocked out of Neptune's orbit. When something came barreling through the solar system a long time ago, did something, knocked over Uranus. Sorry, Uranus, whatever. Knocked it over, so that's on a weird angle. Went barreling to the inner solar system, did something with Venus, which made it uninhabitable, created huge scars on Mars, not wiped out that atmosphere. But anyway, that's what happened. So anyway, right, off we go. So then they go and look at Neptune and Uranus, which in this, they say, I forgot what they say actually. Where are we? What do they say? Oh, right, twin worlds in eternal night and perpetual cold. Which is kind of true. Sometimes they're called gas giants, or sometimes they're called ice giants. But anyway, whatever. Windgrace says, I prefer Kuiper suspenders, or bracers as you call them. Right, yes, Kuiper. Yes, yes, we call them bracers. Then what you put there? I've got some somewhere. Yes, you call them suspenders. What we suspenders for us are what women have on their stockings and suspenders. I don't know what you call them. Anyway, obviously, this is before they discovered that both Neptune and Uranus, I'm going to call it that, have rings. But they didn't know that back then, Because there were no such thing as space probes back in 1953. Not human ones, anyway. Right, so here we go. Why, surrounded by an unbreathable atmosphere of methane gas and ammonia vapour. By the way, they keep mentioning in this that these gas giants have surfaces. So, anyway, like I said, they mentioned Saturn next. I keep pressing the wrong button, sorry. There we go. Martians considered Saturn an attractive world with its many moons and beautiful rings of cosmic dust. By the way, this bit were done here. These clouds were painted onto glass in front of that. By the way, the paintings here were done by famed astronomical artist Chesley Bonestell, who also helped design the Golden Gate Bridge, Chrysler Building, and something else that I can't remember. Garters? No, that's not a garter's just like a thing that a woman puts round her thigh, isn't it? A sexy thing. But anyway, just because some idiot called Neil comes along and says he's not, it's not, he's wrong. My childhood is more true than his dream. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I presume you're talking about. It's the one thing I agree with him on. I hate Neil deGrasse Tyson, smug twat. Can't do with him. But anyway. Anywho, it makes Pluto more special to me if it's not one of the regular planets. It's a special one, along with the others. I forgot the names of them now. The class Sirius, don't they? The largest of the asteroids, as a minor planet. Technically, the Moon's a minor planet because the Earth-Moon system. The Moon doesn't orbit the Earth. The Earth and Moon orbit a common centre of gravity, which just happens to be inside the Earth. So the Earth's like, I'm going to use that. So if the Earth's that, the common centre of gravity is kind of there. So the Earth kind of goes right, you know, like a spinning top. Weird. Anyway, whatever. A quest says if the Moon ever got too close to the Earth, Earth would have a ring too. Some people have said it might have the remains of a ring. There's a thing called the zodiacal light, which can be seen sometimes, and some people have suggested. They said that's either the remnants of a ring that the Earth used to have, or it's caused by meteors, something to do with the meteors. I can't remember which ones, but anyway. No shock that nobody's proposed to Earth yet. A ring. Yeah. But anyway, so it's the first one where they say that there we go. Its temperature's close to 270 degrees below zero, and what does it say? There we go. Ice lies 15,000 miles deep in its surface. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a gas giant. So it doesn't have 15,000. Well, we don't think it has 15,000 miles of ice, but because it doesn't have a surface. Right, here we go. There's Jupiter. By the way, I love this. This is cool because hang on, let me go back a bit. There we go. This is supposed to be the surface of Jupiter, but as we know, Jupiter doesn't have a surface. It's a gas giant. Some people suggest that the gas giants are failed stars, and some people say no, they're not. But maybe they are. I don't know. They're maybe just stars that haven't gained enough mass. I don't know, but some have suggested that, particularly with Jupiter, because it gives out more light than it receives. But weirdly. I'm also a gas giant, especially after I eat. Yes, me too. Where were we? This painting, this Chesley Bonestell painting, obviously it's got other aspects to it, because you can see things bubbling, but you can see that this like titanic cliff of lava and ice, but you can actually see it's moving. Hang on, press wrong button. Hang on. Press wrong button, sorry, I'm an idiot. There you go, you can see it's moving, look, just going down. Kind of cool, I like that. But as we know, Jupiter has no surface. If they'd said the moon Io's does have volcanic activity, doesn't it? But not with lava. It's more like other stuff, isn't it? Hang on. What does Neil say? We can go the opposite. Oh dear. Gas giant, a natural fuel source for space travel. Well, I don't know. It depends, I suppose, what gas it is, doesn't it? There's different layers of it, isn't there? Neil says aliens don't exist unless they drag them into the town square, which seems very aggressive to me. Yes, it does. As I said, Neil deGrasse Tyson's a knobhead. Can't stand the man. He's no Carl Sagan, let's put it that way, even though he thinks he is. Right, so, and then we skip over Venus for some reason. There we go. Go to Mercury, the nearest planet to the Sun, unless you count Vulcan. Not that Vulcan, the other Vulcan. I like to think that Vulcan's still out there. Our Vulcan, not the Vulcan round. Is it Epsilon Eridani? The star system where Vulcan's supposed to be in Star Trek. The other one. But anyway, cool painting of Mercury. But then they skip over Venus. Of all the worlds, only our lush green Earth was appropriate for them. Because back in the 50s, they weren't actually sure if they were live on Venus or not. That's what I think. I don't think there's ever been a proper explanation why they missed out Venus. They did mention it in the commentaries on the DVD, in both of them, but neither of them knew. Joe Dante on one of the commentaries said, well, because Venus hadn't been discovered. That just shows how much Joe Dante knows about space, doesn't it? Stick to directing, Joe. But in the 50s, they weren't sure whether that Venus, it could support life. They thought. I think even like astronomers were saying, maybe there could be life on Venus. It'd be warm. Maybe they thought maybe it was like tropical and all that, didn't they? But then they found out it's probably it's like a Class X planet, isn't it? From Star Trek Voyager. It's one of the most inhospitable places you can imagine, where you'd be what is it? You'd be crushed, melted by acid, burned by the heat, squished by the pressure, and just all at once. Probes have been sent, haven't they? The Soviets sent the Venera probes, and they only lasted a few minutes before they were crushed by the enormous pressure. But, curiously enough, there may be life. Not on the surface, but in the atmosphere. They found evidence that life might be floating in the cooler parts of Venus's atmosphere, which is cool and weird. Anywho, right, got to get onto these chats things. Right, Alien. Why the sound of it sounds racist. What? I know that's from Star Trek 6. Because Venus is a girl. Yes, because women are from Venus and men are from Mars. Apparently. You ever seen Abbott and Costello Go to Mars? I quite enjoyed it. It's a funny film and stuff, but they never actually go to bloody Mars. They go to Venus. Spoilers, but anyway. Carl Sagan would never have tried to destroy my childhood. But he worked for Majestic 12, didn't he? Have you watched Dark Skies? So, what are you good year or bad? Did the Martians not know about Planet X? Duck Dodgers did. See, he went there, didn't he? Planet X. Dear. It's got a new 10-inch Dobsonian telescope. Cool. This last week. Cool. I've got a telescope. It's boxed up. It's in the shed. I've actually got two. I've got a reflector and a refractor. They're only small ones. But it's just a faff getting them out. It is. If I ever go in my garden to look at the stars, I just take one of my cameras and just take long exposure photos. Oh, crikey. Did somebody say super chat? Yes, thank you. $2 super chat from Wingrace. I always forget to mention it, don't I? Don't forget the super chats. It'll help keep the lights on and all that jazz. And super thanks as well. That's there, available. And so don't forget to subscribe. Let's get to 1,000. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. But anyway. And then you can watch adverts on my videos. But anyway, whatever. Thanks, Wingrace. That's super duper kind. Right. By the way, I hope you're doing okay now. I hope you've got everything sorted after your dramas with, your storm that passed through and destroyed your car and your house. I hope everything's okay now. I hope everything's okay. Right, so they've looked at all the other planets apart from Venus and whatever else might be out there, and decided they're gonna invade Earth. So they're gonna send their cylinders. It doesn't show, Ogilvy the astronomer and the journalist watching Mars as a green light emits from it, which is the first of the cylinders. But anyway, there we go. We begin with this shot, which is supposed to have Woody Woodpecker in, and I can't bloody see it, showing the first of the cylinders arriving. Woody Woodpecker's supposed to be there, but I can't make it out. I've screenshotted it and blown it up, and I can't see Woody Woodpecker in there. Because apparently George Pal was friends with the creator of Woody Woodpecker, who I can't remember whose name it is. And so he tries to include Woody Woodpecker in all of his films. He's in the Time Machine and his other stuff. And that one of the Woody Woodpecker's supposed to be there, but I can't see it. It's never been confirmed that Woody Woodpecker is there, and I've looked all through the film trying to spot a Woody Woodpecker doll or a picture or something, and I can't see it. So, but anyway, right. So here comes the first one. There we go. Here's the town of Linda Rosa in California. Here comes the there it goes. Look, cool. Just dropped my car off this morning. They gave me a big red Jeep for the time being. Cool. A Jeep. So you can drive round. I think you're David Soul in Salem's Locks. He drove a Jeep, didn't he? Right, so here we go. The people of Linda Rosa looking up and seeing, ooh, what's that? There's Anne Robinson, who was only 19 when she filmed this. She was 20 when it came out. 19 when she made this. And she had to wear a wig. She had to wear a wig for this film because she got naturally red hair. And George Powell said, I don't like your red hair. You're wearing a wig. There she is. There she is with her Uncle Matthew, who's the local pastor, and various other townsfolk looking gormless into the sky, apart from him, who's lighting a cigar. We see him, I think it's him, and we see him, and him as well. Later on, spoilers, they die. Anyway, nice. Sorry. I thought a chat thing had popped up then, but it hadn't. Right, so here it comes. Here it comes screeching down to the earth in a pretty anticlimactic as it hits the ground. Are you ready? Oh dear. Could have done that a little bit better, couldn't they? Anyway, never mind. So there we go. It's hit the ground. I'm looking for Woody Woodpeckers. See if we can see anything. I can't see anything. Right, so they said it will hit close, and he says, "Oh, it's probably all the way to Pomona," and she says, "Oh, it's closer than that." So they're all going to go there and have a look and see what's going on. So they're all heading out there. Meanwhile, somebody in what do they call them? Fire. I forgot they call them. I played a game that were about these, but they have them in America, don't you? These fire station, not fire station, like a tower they sit in to look out for fires in the forests and stuff. Anyway, they're the one they've seen it, so they're reporting it. This fella's been playing cards. This fella's a bloody cheat. He's looking at his mate's cards. There you go. Look, cheating. Bloody idiot. So the fire brigade or whatever department, they're heading out, putting the fire out. There they go, giving it all that. This is obviously on the sound stage. It mostly filmed on stage 18 at Paramount Pictures, but there's some location shooting in LA and surrounding areas, and also in not Phoenix, in Arizona. But we'll get to that. Do the Woodrow Woodpecker laugh? I don't know that one. I know the Woody Woodpecker laugh. Is that what it's called? Woodrow? That is proper name. That wasn't it? I used to love Woody Woodpecker when I was a kid. It's the Woody Woodpecker show. Anyway, so they're putting the fire out. Oh dear. Right, so he's reporting it in, and this is where we learn that there's some scientists that just happen to be fishing nearby, so they're going to get them to have a look at it. The meteor, they're calling it a meteor. Obviously, they don't know about these things. Once it hits the ground, it's a meteorite. If it's in the atmosphere, it's a meteor. If it's in space, it's an asteroid or planetoid. Once it's in the atmosphere, it becomes a meteor. Once it hits the ground, it's a meteorite. spelled it wrong, but yes, it's Woodrow Woodpecker. Dear. Named after Woodrow Wilson, your president, no doubt. Anyway, so they're gonna, there it is. So they're gonna, it's a cylinder, like the cylinder that's in the book. So they're gonna get, there we go. We're gonna get these scientists from Pacific Tech to come and check it out. See, he's got a plane there. Must be a runway nearby. It's just landed in the trees. Maybe it's a vertical takeoff and landing plane. But anyway, here's Gene Barry and Robert, I forgot his name. Hey, Robert Cornthwaite. There we go. There he is. We saw in The Thing, but he had a beard in The Thing. And somebody else. I don't know that other side. Dr. Bilderbeck. That's Dr. Bilderbeck. So anyway, they're going to get drafted by the fella that we saw cheating with cards. Here he comes. Hang on. Tic Tac from Mars. I haven't. Oh yes, it is. Yes, it looks like one, doesn't it? The Tic Tac, like the Tic Tac UFOs of recent times. Right, here he is, telling them about it. Says, yes, we saw it come down. Anyway, he helps himself to some fish and Dr. Pryor's, that's him, cigarettes. But he was telling him, thought you'd be interested. So, anywho, there he is. It says it didn't come in like a meteor, and he's saying, that's right, came down in kind of spurts, didn't it? You know, like he's a bloody expert. But anyway. So, he's going to go and check it out. It's Dr. Clayton Forrester. Not the Dr. Clayton Forrester from Mystery Science Theatre 3000. This is a different one. Sorry, UAP. Sorry. There's a Woody in the background. Is there? Didn't have a chubby on, did he? A Woody. You mean a Woody Woodpecker? Oh, I mean about the trees. See, don't tell that, because I'll have to go back and look and see if there's a Woody Woodpecker somewhere. Because it's my mission to find it. I can't see one. Anyway, right. So he's going to hang about. This is Gene Barry. In only his second film as Dr. Clayton Forrester of Pacific Tech. Astrophysicist and nuclear physicist. Whatever. So he's going to hang about, and the others are going to fly back in his plane. So that's how we learn it. He can fly. There was one in the Olympics. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The controversy, perchance? Don't know. Anyway. Right. So, that's what's going to happen. Right, so, yeah, they're all getting excited, the local people. The locals have gathered to observe it. Much like they did in the book on Horsell Common. But this is Linda Rosa, California. So they're all checking it out. Look, she's taking photos of her kids with her box brownie or whatever. So they've decided they're going to make it, turn it into a tourist attraction. That's what they're going to do. There you go. And they're going to sell tacos and enchiladas and stuff. And Father Matthew says, we should put up a few picnic tables. And he says, no, then they bring their own food. Hey, capitalism, Capitalism. Meanwhile, this fella, Buck, decides he's going to start hitting the cylinder with his shovel for some reason. Don't know why, he just is. Alright, the Clayton Forrester's arrived now. There he goes, going in. Has he hit it yet? Yes, he's going to go in and he's going to give it a whack. Because for the car with wood panels. Oh, right, woody. Right, okay. A pole vaulter failed his jump because his package hit the bar. But yes, there's the other controversy. And the wardrobe malfunction at the beginning too. See, I've missed all this, so never mind. I haven't seen much of the Olympics, to be completely honest. What have I seen of it? I watched a bit of the archery, which was kind of exciting. That's about it, really. I haven't really watched much of it. Bit of the gymnastics. The fellas on the rings. Blimey. And the pommel horse. But, yeah. They're amazing. Anyway, right. Yes, pole. Yes, I get what you meant. Pole vaulter. Bet that hurt. Hit his tackle. Terrifies me, the pole vault, doesn't it? But putting all the trust in that big bendy pole, aren't they? Anywho, back to the film. Only Olympics thing I saw was poop floating in the river. It's France. It's the River Seine. It's Paris. It stinks. I've been once. It smells bloody horrible. Touristy bits, are fine, but once you get to the regular part of Paris, it gets a bit smelly. But I suppose any big city does. Anyway, right, so here we go. She's obviously, because it's the 50s, she's smoking, and I found this weird. Not weird, but weird. Or unusual, shall we say. She wants a light for a cigarette. She's obviously left a lighter at home, and she says, "Have you got a light?" And he says, "I'm sorry, I don't smoke," which is strange, isn't it? Everybody smoked back then, but he didn't. I wonder if George Pal didn't smoke. I don't know, but anyway. By the way, he's coming in, he's saying, he doesn't understand why it didn't make a bigger crater. And she says, it might have it hit sideways and skidded in. I don't think they do that, do they? But anyway. And then she says she's missed it. She doesn't know this is Clayton Forrester, but she knows he's on his way because she did a study on him to get a degree or whatever. And yes, mad. Do you know where I learned that word? Captain Picard. The first time I heard that word was in Encounter at Farpoint, wasn't it? Anywho, so she doesn't realise this is Clayton Forrester. She's saying he's amazing, he's a brilliant scientist, and he's saying, "No, he's not that good." And she says, "Well, how do you know? You don't even know him." He says, "Yes, well, I know him a bit, because he looks like me." So that's when she realises it is him. There's supposed to be like a bit of a romance blossoming between these two, but Anne Robinson states definitively in the commentary that there were no romantic feelings between them whatsoever. But I think they do try to imply that there is, because they do give each other longing looks in their eyes. But anyway, just says our river is crystal clear, but has loads of mercury in it from mining. So it's so mining in the gold rush time. So, but it's not methyl mercury, and you end up getting giant mutant bears like in Prophecy. Oh dear. The Olympics have such a drag these days, referencing the controversy. I don't know what to make of it, to be completely honest. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Anyway. Enough of that. We're talking about War of the Worlds. This is where it says it doesn't smoke. Look, everybody smoked back then. I bet all the cigarette manufacturers are saying, right, pulling the sponsorship from this film. Anyway, right, so there we go. We learn her name, Sylvia Van Buren. As I said, 19 when she made this film, in a wig. She will go on to reprise the role in the late 80s, about 1988, 89, something like that. TV series War of the Worlds, which was a sequel to this film. And it was all right. What I saw of it, I didn't see it all. I think I saw the first season. I'm not sure if I saw the second season or not. They did make some changes. They weren't from Mars in that, I don't think. But anyway, and it was kind of gruesome in places. Anyway. He doesn't smoke. This movie is woke. That rhymes. Right, there you go. He hit it. I missed that bit, didn't I? There we go. Gives it a whack. Bong, and bit breaks off. And for some reason, do a big musical sting. Like that. For some reason. And maybe he's woke it up. But, right, so anyway. So the knee pipes up. Now that sand will keep the heat in. And so, right. So anyway, she introduces him. There we go. Uncle Matthew, this is Dr. Clayton Forrester. And then she kind of gets, I think she makes a mistake here. In the commentary, she did mention that she said, I nearly made a mistake. I almost forgot Uncle Matthew's name. And she does like falter a little bit. But for some reason, she calls him Doctor. It's in the subtitles as well. There you go. My uncle, Dr. Matthew Collins. He's never mentioned being a doctor. Did she mean to say something else? Pastor of the community church. But because she does Let's see. I'll play it. I'll play it. What the heck? I'll unmute it. Is volume up? Yes. Right, here we go. For a long time. Shut up.
Uncle Matthew, this is Dr. Clayton Forrester.
It's got to pause it. I don't get a copyright strike.
My uncle, Dr. Matthew Collins, passed away.
That's my uncle, Doctor. I think she wasn't supposed to say doctor, but they didn't pull her up on it. They didn't make her say it again. So I thought, fair enough. Maybe he's a doctor. I don't know, but they never mention it again about him being a doctor. And what's he a doctor of? I don't know. But anyway, they're all friends. They're all lovely. Then let me see. He's got some fish in ice there. He's got a Geiger counter as well because they were taking some readings up in the mountains. By the way, South Africa. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 was crap. I can't remember if I've seen Season 2. I think I saw the last episode of Season 2. Because I saw it. I've only seen it when it were on TV, at the time. So I've never seen, never seen it on video or anything. So I don't know. He is a doctor of God. Yes, a PhD. Yes, maybe he is. He could be a doctor of. Look at all it now. Oh, what is it now? Can't remember. My brain stopped working as usual. Anyway, right. Geiger counter's going off, and this chap, this ranger, policeman, whatever. I don't know. I'll have a look. It'll say his name. Oh yes, cop. Henry Brandon, cop at crash site. I haven't even got a name. Yes, Doctor of Theology. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes, thank you. Anyway, there we go. Ticking like a bomb. And he says, we were doing some readings while they were up in the hills, and then we learned that it's radioactive, and then they never mention it again. But Anne Robinson was saying every time he pointed it at my left bosom, it went off. So they must have put something radioactive in my left bosom. By the way, in the commentary, it was supposed to be Anne Robinson and Jean Barry doing this, commentary, and she did most of the talking. Jean Barry just kept saying, "Who's that young handsome chap?" referring to himself, or "This film will last the test of time," and stuff like that. It offered hardly any insights into the making of the film. She did all the talking, and she did it well. Anyway, there we go. So it's radioactive. They should keep people away from it. So he's going to put some deputies out, and he's going to go stay at their house. He says, could you tell me there's a hotel or whatever in town? He says, I'd be happy to stay at my house. I said, oh, fair enough. Save yourself some money. He says, what do you do in this town of an evening? I said, there's a square dance. And I thought, oh, for God's sake. But anyway, so they're all dancing. There's cheating bugger who steals fish and cigarettes and cheats at cards. Now he's singing at a square dance, Happy partners, giving all that, I don't know the words. In the hills, I hear they have eyes, yes, and Michael, I forgot his name. I've forgotten his name. Just don't take a caravan there. No, don't. I know square. Anyway, there they go. Dancing away. You don't catch me doing that. I'm a terrible dancer. I have no coordination whatsoever. Anyway, there we go. Take your partner, do buddy, and all that stuff, Anyway, meanwhile, back at the crash site, there you go. You can see the cylinder there. It's supposed to be, 30 yards long or something. I think they've made it a little bit small of the film, haven't they? They're warming their hands by a campfire. What's going on over there? What are 3 lights there for? Oh no, it's from the dissolve. There they are. Getting ready. It says, let's check it again, as though it's going to be doing something. But it does do something. So they're thinking maybe we should just go. It's not going to do anything more tonight. And then just as they're going to go, they see it's starting to unscrew. Dun, dun, dun. Don't insult Josh Temple's cultural dance. Does Josh Temple go square dancing? I apologise, Josh. I apologise for my bad impersonation of a man doing a take your partner by the hand and all that stuff. Oddly enough, when I was at school, how old will I have been? 10, 11, something like that. So that's I didn't call it a square dance, but it was that sort of thing. Where I had to wear a George Lucas shirt and a little necktie. Country dancing, we called it. I had to do that at school. Heel and toe and all that stuff. It was awful. I hated it. Anyway, it's unscrewing. So they're watching it. They think it's a bomb. It says bombs don't unscrew. And they go, it's a bomb. Anyway. They say it's no meteor, that's for sure. So as they're watching, 6 foot of luminous screw protruded, and then the lid fell off. That's a bad impersonation of James Mason. Sorry. Not James Mason. Richard Burton. Anyway, so is it still showing that? I forgot to... Yes, it's still unscrewing. And then we're back at the square dance. They're all drinking Coca-Cola. Why? Because Anne Robinson were only 19 and she wasn't allowed to drink. It's 21 or whatever over there, isn't it? So they had to drink Coca-Cola out of bottles with straws. But somebody else has got some orange fizz. Anyway, so there we go. But then, hang on. There you go. The lid fell off. Bing, there it goes. And by the way, Ray Harryhausen wanted to do War of the Worlds before this came out, and he even did some test footage, and I meant to cue it up and I forgot. But he showed the one of the aliens. I think it was a scene from the end of the film where the aliens, spoilers, the aliens die, and he showed the alien, the Martian, coming out, all tentacles and stuff, as described in the book, tentacles. And it's not that good, to be honest. To be honest, I'm glad he didn't get to do it, because it didn't look that good. But anyway, I think they look better in this, even though they're kind of goofy. The drinking age wasn't raised to 21 until 1984. All right, but she wasn't allowed to drink anyway. I don't know what it was then before then, but she wasn't allowed to drink. Maybe she had a drinking problem. Maybe that's why she wasn't allowed to drink. Hang on. Where are we? I always mix Orson Welles and H.G. Wells. Orson Welles has another E. It's Wells and H.G. Wells. I look exactly like Orson Welles, but younger. Both younger and older Orson, but I'm not anything like H.G. Okie dokie. I look like Orson Welles around my midriff, the older Orson Welles. Why didn't they sing the Moustache song? I don't even know what that is. And yes, I square dance, but I hate it. I said that one. Oh wait, this was the 50s, never mind. But anyway, it was 21 to 1970, alright, and then dropped to 18, and then raised to 21 again. What you like, you fickle Americans, and your laws. Anyway. Where were we? Oh, yes, the lid's come off, hasn't it? Here we go. And they're looking, oh, crikey, what's going on? And then we're going to see, here we go, we see the Martians, or it's the Cobra head, as it's called. As I said, designed by, I forgot his name. Hang on, I've got it in my notes. I forgot already. Hey, where are we? I bet it's not here now. I bet it's not in my notes. I don't know. By the way, Walter Lantz was the creator of Woody Woodpecker. That's in my notes. Yes, throughout the movie, the cast is seen drinking Coke because Anne Robinson's contract forbade her from appearing to drink alcohol. Right. I just saw that in my notes, you see. Oh, no, I ain't got it in my notes. Typical. Never mind. Anywho. When Americans can't explain something, they say it's aliens. Or some kind of thing. Why is there a thing we don't understand called a thing? As Bones said in Star Trek the Motion Picture. Anyway, here it is. with the cool sound effects. Hang on, we'll have a list of the sound effects. Which has been reused a lot. And they said how they did in the commentary, not in the commentary, the making of. It said how it was created, and I've forgotten, and I've tried looking it up and I can't find it. That particular, I can't remember how it's done. I've forgotten. But when it fires its beam and it goes the do, which we'll see in a minute, that's done with just a guitar string, put through like an echo, whatever. Anyway, but it usually is aliens, yes. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute it again. Anyway, so it's looking round, wondering what's going on, checking out the environment. And this is where he says he decides they're from Mars, this chap, because he says apparently Mars is quite close to Earth now, so he decided they're from Mars. And for the rest of the film, they decided that they're Martians. But as I said, in the series, it was determined that they weren't from Mars, they were from somewhere else. Elsewhere, another solar system, but I can't remember if it said which one. Anyway, there we go. Everybody's talking about it. Happens every 8 to 20 years. Anyway, they said they wondering what they look like. They said everything human doesn't have to look like you and me. Well, basically it does, or the elephant man, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so they're going to go out there with a white flag and say hello and welcome to California and all that stuff. There you go, welcome to California. And there's a cool shot. I think about 20 foot long. They did like a full scale cobra head. And I think it was about 20 feet high. I think it was, at its full height. But it is a cool, prop. Is it a prop? I don't know what you call it. Prop, animatronic. I don't know what you call it. It's a cool thing anyway. It looks cool. Made out of copper. And none of the things left in this, all these and the fighting machines that we're going to see later, exist anymore from the original film. They were all melted down and given to a Boy Scouts copper drive. But anyway. Hey, there they are, waving their flags. Look. Everybody understands when you have a white flag. You want to say help. You want to be friends. That's him saying that, by the way. I think he's supposed to be like the local Spanish person, but he's actually a Canadian actor. Anyway, their pleas for friendship are going to fall on deaf ears. Death. Yes. This is where we hear the guitar string.
We welcome you.
Do. And then they get shot. Here we go. By the way, that effect's done with a blowtorch on like iron filings or something like that. What is it? Where have I put it? I've got it in my notes. Albert Nazaki. There we go. Albert Nazaki based his designs of the Martian machines on the shape and movements of manta rays, cobras, and swans. The death ray sound, which is what we see in there, that was made by attaching a slightly off-centre wooden disc to a power drill and running it at the fastest speed and touching it to a wound string on an electric guitar. Basically, like metal guitars go pow, giving it all that. They did that basically, and then ran it through stuff to give it that sound. I forgot we're looking up now. Yes. Where is it? Just bear with me. I've seen it here somewhere. Where have I seen it? There we go. Here it was created by burning welding wire with a blowtorch, forcing the sparks off of it, and then used a fan to make it go in that direction. There we go. Anywho, ack. Have we done Mars Attacks? I don't think we have we? Wait, wrong Mars. Yes. Anyway, there we go. So that's the end of them. And then all the lights go out. Look out for Woody Woodpecker. See if you can see him anywhere. No, I can't see him. Before the lights go out. There we go. All the lights go out. And the phones go off as well, and the fellow with the hearing aid stops working. So we think it's all connected, but actually we learned that the lights went out because the Martians knocked down the power lines. But thought it was just some electromagnetic effect that made the power go off, but apparently not. So they find some candles. And we hear Sylvia say, I like it in the dark. But she's not having fun in a bit. Spends the rest of the film screaming. No phones, no lights, no motor cars. Yes, there's going to be a car that actually comes in a minute. Because that's they say in one of the commentaries, saying, how come this fella's car's still working? Maybe he did what Tom Cruise did in the Steven Spielberg War of the Worlds, where he changed the solenoid or something. I don't know. Is that Ak from Mars Attacks or Red Dwarf? Did they do Ak in Red Dwarf? I can't remember. Anyway. Right. He's checking the phone. Phones are down. His hearing aid's not working. And all the watches have stopped at the same time. I guess they must have second hands. Because of the notice. Because it's only just happened, hasn't it? So you wouldn't have noticed, would you? But they've all stopped at the same time. So he notices Dr. Forrester's super brain. He says, because it's magnetised. So there you go. It's pins sticking to his watch because it's magnetised. So that's what's caused all the stuff to go off. But not because we learn in a minute. That's not why the lights have gone off. Anyway, so alright, he asks the police bobby chap, have you got a pocket compass? And he gets that out and he says it's not pointing north. No, it's pointing to the gully where the cylinder came, the meteor came down, meteorite, whatever. Right, so this another policeman arrives in his car, which has unaffected. Maybe he was just out of range, I don't know. Yes, big honking magnets. As Jack O'Neill would say. 2 L's. Right, there you go. There's a fire's going off over by the gully, so they've got to go and check it out. So there you go, Clayton Forrester and the police bobby chap get in the police car and head out. So there they are. There you go. Power lines are down. That explains why the lights went out. Does it show us? I think there we go. So it wasn't the magnetic effect at all. But you see that's is that footprints? Because we learn later when the Martian fighting machines come out, they're technically tripods. We'll get to it, but they leave like a trail. But anyway, that looks like that. So some Martians have left the building, so to speak. It seems. So anyway. Then notice that the car is destroyed, and he says, "What happened to the 3 men?" And I'm going to see him in a minute. In a minute. There we are. That's all that's left of them. They've been turned into people from Pompeii. Must have changed the solenoid. Dodgy solenoid. That was on an advert, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was off. So there we go. Poor chaps. All they want to do was make friends and say welcome to California, and got ashed for their troubles. Anyway, so then they say, oh crikey, and then they see it's there, look, and then it's just going to shoot at them. There we go, it's getting ready. And he chickens out and just heads out of there, leaves them behind. Look, they go after him, just left them. Bloody coward. But luckily, they've saved his life. There we go. Get under cover. Jump out of the way. Just in time. Gets the car. So he's dead. So, right. Better get word to the authorities. Need the army out there. Thankfully, in the 50s, the authorities were the good guys, weren't they? Right, so here we go. Location now. We're on location in Arizona. This is the Arizona National Guard. So they went out and filmed with them, and I think some of this footage is for War of the Worlds that were filmed for War of the Worlds got used, as stock footage in other B movies and stuff. But anywho, the Three Stooges lay down. Kind of like the Three Stooges, wasn't a bit, but different. Yes, they should have moisturised. When does Tom Cruise show up? Don't know. He'll be hanging off side of a building somewhere, or a plane, or whatever, doing his own stunts. All they need is a kurtosis harpoon. Is that what you mean? That thing off The Acolyte. Anywho, right, so the army's arriving, but this is the Arizona National Guard, but never mind. So they're getting all ready. More scientists have arrived, and some radio chap. A lot of people think this is Paul Frees, but it's not. He's in it later on. So he's interviewing people. Right, there, that's George Pal, bum number one, with his cigar, so he does smoke. There he is, and that's another of the producers. I forgot his name. Freeman. Can't remember his. Hang on, I can tell you. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Does it say anywhere else? Never mind. I can look on the cast list because it says bum number 2. Where is it? I'm going to have to do a Control F on. There we go. Frank Freeman Jr. Why Frank Freeman Jr.? Don't know, just is. No, that's his name. Why Frank Freeman Jr. Bum number 2, listening to radios. That's him. And that's George Pal. Don't know who these are. But listen to radio outside a shop. What you doing? You want to go out now, don't you? Yes, I can tell. Yes. Princess wants to go out. Just bear with me. Just a minute. Got my foot trapped. Get off and that's it. You're a pest. What are you? I'm back. Right, where were we? The acolyte. Acolyte. It was terrible, wasn't it? But anyway, that's by the by. Where were we? George Pal. There he is. Bum number 1. Why they say the bums? Just men in suits. Look like bums to me. It's like people. I look like a bum. But anyway. Yes, Clayton Forrester's giving his thoughts on what the Martians might look like, and just talking out of his arse, basically. What does he say? Gravitational pull. Our gravitational pull will weigh them down because Martian gravity is about a quarter of the Earth, something like that, isn't it? So you'd think they'd be tall and willowy, wouldn't you, would Martians? But not in this film, they're not. Our heavier air would oppress them. And then he says they might have two. The veins might be distended, which is what we do see. But then he gets going about they might have 2 brains. Hang on, does he say it here? There we go. Precedent in our own evolution makes it possible they might have more than 1 brain. Essentially, he's talking about dinosaurs. Some dinosaurs. They used to think. I don't think they think that now, do they? That some like Stegosaurus and some of the others. Had 2 brains, one in the head and one in the hip area. But they found out that wasn't a brain. It was just like a bundle of nerves. It was kind of like a mini brain, I suppose, or a junction box for the brain, I suppose. But it wasn't actually a brain. But I think that's what he's on about there. Anyway, I was talking about the how the cylinders come down. Says they use jets and some sort of gyroscopic mechanism, to navigate. I thought, don't you mean gyroscopic? No, it says gyroscopic. Don't know why. It just does. There were Colonel Ralph Hefner. Related to Hugh? Don't know. Maybe he is, but we're going to see him in a bit. He comes to a sticky end, as we'll see. There we go. We're looking at the gully. The green glow for some reason. Don't know why. It just does. A plane's going to fly over and drop a flare and give us our first good look. But it's all glowing anyway, so we're having a good look there. But the plane's going to take photographs as well as it goes over. So there we go. They're all looking. Look, there we go. And there we are. And then it's going to get shot at. I'm pressing the wrong button again. The wrong key. Here we are. Now, cool shot. I must admit, it does look cool. So it shoots at the plane. I don't think it shoots it down, because we don't hear that it did. But then it starts shooting at them. There we go. They got room for cover, and they've got his van. Look, they got my van. Anyway, they cut me off. They got me truck. Sorry. So there we go. Going to need plenty of reinforcements. So here come the reinforcements as more Arizona National Guard people arrive in tanks and stuff. Sherman tank? I don't know. I don't know much about this sort of thing. Remember the Battle of the Bulge film where all the tanks in the film, I think, were Sherman tanks, even the German ones. Anyway. Right, so here we are. Lots of military manoeuvres and somebody in a car getting ready. Right, so anyway, so Sylvia Van Buren's now handing out Danish rolls and coffee. Because, that's what you do, innit? There you go. So they're all ready now, getting all the stuff's in position, all the men are in position. They've got the Martians surrounded or whatever, and the Uncle Matthew comes in and tells them that because another cylinder's landed, by the way, and they're kind of in between the two cylinders now, and the town's in between where these two cylinders have landed. So Father Matthew tells the colonel that everybody in the town is aware that they may have to evacuate. But anywho, but then the generals arrive. General Mann, played by Les Tremayne, who we've seen in other stuff. He quite often plays military people. I think we've seen him on something on the Magnificent Monday film, and I can't remember which one. But we have seen him, but I can't remember where. Here he is. He was also in. He was in Star Chaser, the Legend of Orin. Yes, Dr. Father Matthew, Dr. Pastor Father Matthew. Esquire. And yes, here he is saying he's just. It's just there to have a look and see what you're up to. Colonel's still in command. Then we see that he knows Dr. Clayton Forrester. Pardon me. I haven't seen you since Oak Ridge, so it means Clayton Forrester's worked on the atom bomb. Because that were Oak Ridge, that were where some of the nuclear stuff was developed, wasn't it? In Tennessee, I don't know, somewhere like that. I've got it in my notes. It's in my notes. There we go. So they're reacquainted. Sylvia's giving him a cup of coffee. So it's where we're going to find out that they've landed in other areas as well. There you go. They're outside London. They're in Naples. They're in somewhere else as well. Where else were they? Santiago. There we go. In Chile. 2 cylinders there. They're outside London. They're in Naples. There you go. Fresno, Sacramento, 2 on Long Island, etc. So, they're landing all over the place. And they seem to be coming down at random. The general says no, because they seem to have some sort of plan. Unfortunately, when they land and they get on the move, no more news comes out of that area. And then he has a big drink of coffee. There we go, to emphasise the point. Here it is. Without looking at his cup. Anyway, so there you go. Get reports of destruction, massacre, and all stuff like that. The Martians just kill people and destroy things all the time. But for some reason, Uncle Matthew wants to go talk to him. I don't know why. Because we local reports say nothing remains. They're just destroying everything. By the way, essentially, Independence Day, Roland Emmerich's Independence, just a remake of this, kind of. Got a lot of the same beats, a lot of the same story points as well. Anywho, I wonder if they are hostile aliens. Yes, Father Matthew's thinking that. But it's all from it's all we're hearing, just destruction. And we've seen it, they've seen it firsthand. But Father Matthew is just going to go and talk to him. There, they see they're all ready, all getting ready, and they're coming up out the gully now. There you go, they're watching. In a minute, there he goes, going to say, "There's something moving in the gully," and here they come. In a minute, there it is. There it comes. There we go. Cool. By the way, on this version, this version here that I've got, that I've acquired legally, you can't see the strings. I wonder if this is, I don't know, 'cause that's the DVD copy I've got, which is the 50th, something like 50th anniversary special edition, something like that. I think it came out, 2003. You can see the strings. There's like cables holding it up. Some of the cables are for holding it up because they're really heavy. They're made out of copper and they're massive. Some of them for the electronics and stuff that are inside. But they must have, for like the HD version, the Blu-ray, whatever, they must have erased them in CG'd them out. There's no real evidence to determine that yet, that they're hostile. This looks like the remaster. Yes, it looks like they've taken out it's been CG'd out. But anyway, there we saw that. There you go. See that's on a tripod. They are still tripods. They're the flying machines. Look at that, will you? Beings from another world. Well, there. Things then. Cool. It's still a great design, aren't they? Still a great design. Still look, it doesn't age, does it? It doesn't look like it's from the 50s. Anyway, the general said, "Is it some kind of flying machine?" He's saying, "No," and he's getting all excited, this Clayton Forrester. They got supported by ground, by rays, and he says, "This is amazing." This is getting all giddy. Because he's a scientist. So anyway, they're getting ready. There we go, on the tank. So he's going outside now, and Sylvia follows him. Says, "What you up to, Uncle? You're not going to go out there." She doesn't say that, but you're not going to go out there and get yourself killed, are you? He says, "Oh no, of course not. Go back into the good, Dr. Forrester. I like him. In you go. Have a romance with him that you'll deny." But it's where he suggesting that they're more advanced than us. And he says they should be nearer the Creator for that reason. Not necessarily, but no real attempts have been made to communicate them. What about the fellas with the white flags? I know they don't know that because they didn't see. They just saw the aftermath, didn't they? But all we seen is destruction. So anyway, he's gonna go and have a chat with them if he can. So there you go. They're about to get ready to fire and whatever. By the way, they can see the legs are burning the ground underneath as they walk across the landscape. So even just walking, they're destroying stuff. There is, "Who's that there?" And says, "Oh no!" So she starts screaming and shouting. There's Sylvia, but he's coming out doing his Shadow of the Valley of Death, that Psalm, whatever it is. There you go. It just lowers itself down. You can see, look, in the other thing, you could see all the strings and everything, but they've obviously been erased for the high-def remaster. Have they done something with his hair? I don't know if it looks like that. It looks like it's a bit of copy and paste stuff there, doesn't it? Or maybe it's just like that, I don't know. So it's going to kill him. There we go. So she screams, obviously. I think was it this that to do twice? When she screamed, hang on. Whatever, in a minute. Show us Sylvia. She's going to come. There she is. She started screaming. She said to do it twice because she did the first scream a bit too loud. Because they told her, said, "Go for it." So she did. And the sound man said, "Can we do it again?" She must have blown the mic or something. I don't know. But anywho. So that's the end of poor Father Matthew. Obviously, he's the Nathaniel character, isn't he, from the book? No, Nathaniel. But anyway, so they just open fire. Oh, in the book, they could take them out easy, couldn't they? They used cannon and all that stuff, and they just destroyed tripods, the Martian fighting machines, just like that. So they weren't invincible in the book, but in this they are. As we can see, they've got some sort of shields. There we go, shields. It's cool. Which were just filmed as just glass domes, just filmed against a black screen, and then just superimposed over this. Could be made now until they start talking the 50s style of dialogue. A remake where everything is the same except modern dialogue would be good. Not Tom Cruise crap. It were alright. It started off well, did the Spielberg one. I quite like the beginning of it. But the story itself, the Martian being buried underground for 1 million years, was stupid. And the back end, I didn't like Tim Robbins in the basement and all that. I didn't like that bit. But anyway, my nan had a clock with that shield. Yeah. Oh, they call them now, them sort of clocks. Can't remember. We used to have one as well. Don't we got it anymore? I don't know, dome clock, whatever. Anyway, so they're shooting away. Obviously, nothing's happening, and then decide they're going to start shooting back in a minute now. When they're ready, they were like checking everything out. You could see the Cobra head, like as though it was scanning on each one. They were like picking out their targets, but they're going to start firing yet in a minute. When they're ready. There we go. So they're opening fire now. Look, there we go. Got new, different weapons now. They've got what's called the skeleton ray on the edges of their wings. That's from the heat ray. The skeleton makes things dissolve as well. The skeleton ray makes people and things just. According to Clayton Forrester, it just strips the masons, and you just basically turn to dust. So that's what the green ones do. There we go. Pew 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 pew. Cool sound effects, by the way. Hang on, let's have a listen. Pew pew, which were reused. That noise, the pew pew from the skeleton ray, were reused in Star Trek for the photon torpedoes. I think they modulated it a bit, but it was essentially the same sound. Oops. Got to mute it again. Let's make sure we're still going, by the way. I hope. I hope. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Shooting away. To no avail. They're not even. That's where he mentions the skeleton ray. No, missed it. Here we go. There we go. Skeleton beam. That's it. Skeleton beam must be what they used to wipe out the French city. What French city? I don't think they even mentioned that. Not that I noticed. Maybe they did. I don't know. But anyway. So he's saying, our weapons are no match for them. We're going to have to work something else out. We're going to have to get back to Washington and sort something out. So anyway, they're evacuating. I think it's this fella. Gets badly burned in real life. I've got it here somewhere, I think. I've forgotten his name. Bear with me. Here we go. Set the timestamp. Yes, it is. Mushy Callahan. I presume it's him they're on about. I'm guessing it's him. Let's go back again. Stop. That could be him. I don't know. 3754. No, it isn't him. So, yeah, it must be him. This must be Mushy Callahan. He got very bad burns, by the way. I've lost it again. Where have I put the bloody thing? Yes, suffered serious burns in real life as an army private, lit a fire by a Martian heat ray, and I think he does a prolonged Wilhelm scream. Let's have a check, see if we can hear it. Because I wasn't paying attention before. I think we could just of the other noise. Anyway, he got badly burned in real life, so the dangers of being a stunt man. In the series, says SavaQuest, they had an older version of the war machines without the periscope. Can't remember. I know they recreated them for the series, didn't they? The fighting machines, because they'd been destroyed, so they had to remake them for the series. Yes, photon torpedoes, the weapon AI. Good. It didn't improve for 1,000 years. The weapon's so good. All right, so good it didn't improve for 1,000 years. Well, nothing improved, did it? It seems, apart from the magic devices that can fix anything, and that was something else, wasn't it? Oh no, that was in Picard, wasn't it? And what were it? Programmable matter. That were the only advance that were made, wasn't it? Anyway, never mind. It's okay. It's a French city. It's not important, I think. We see the Eiffel Tower later. Anyway, so there's poor Mushy Callahan, or whatever he's called, getting burnt. So they're getting everybody out. There we go, still firing. Advancing. Oh, look, they've got for it. Pew, 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 pew. They're all retreating. Where are they still hanging about? Forrester and Sylvia. But Colonel Hefner's telling them, get out of here. They just get out, and then... Oh, for God's sake. There we go, get out of here. And then he gets got by the skeleton beam. That's probably why it's called that. Apparently to stand there for about 10 minutes with his arms out. For some reason, it's because of the rotoscoping. I don't know. To do so, he had to stand there for 10 minutes with his arms out. His arms were aching. Anywho. Then the jets are coming over now. Here come the jets. Here they come. But apparently they don't do any damage. But luckily there's another plane there, an Air Force plane, by the looks of it, that Colonel Clayton Forrester's going to steal. By the way, this bit here, got to mention, their first shots, this was the first, I don't know if the first day of shooting, but they got this location shooting out the way first. And it's their first day of shooting. And for some reason she's got a purse/handbag that you don't see again in the film. She pointed it out in the Dan Robinson. She says this scene, it's the only time you see this purse. Some wardrobe lady just plonked it on my arm and said, go run over there. So she did, and we never saw it again. So they go running to this plane. There we go on the takeoff. Suddenly it's daytime. It must be early morning. It must be, and suddenly the sun's up. There you go. And I don't know where they're flying to. Is it just flying around in circles or what? Or they just happen upon more Martian fighting machines? I don't know. But it's flying really low. She's panicking. There we go, 'cause they can't go higher. Although it said, he could fly a plane, it didn't say he could fly a plane well, did it? But there you go, more jets flying by. Why is that one different? Sci-Fi Quest. What's the difference? I don't know. Why is that one different? Don't know. Anyway. They're going over to deal with the Martians, although they don't. They just flooded him with real X-rays. Yes, they probably did. The Colonel. Anyway, so they're going to crash the plane. Oh, this is a cool shot. I like this shot where they come round. It's obviously a miniature. They come past these trees and they see a couple of fighting machines there, just strolling through the landscape. Again, burning up the ground as they go. But they crash the plane. There we go. So then they jump in a ditch. There we go. More cool effects. And then they start shooting. So they're lying in a ditch and everything's kicking off. Look, etc. So then fade to black, and then there we go. It's in the news. Men from Mars. They're in New York and Miami. All about it. This old woman. There she is. Fighting outside Los Angeles. All about it. Selling papers. Right, so more location in Los Angeles. Going to City Hall or whatever. General Man. Go and have a meeting with the top knobs. Oh, the press are there. 'Cause you can tell the press because it says in their caps. Or hats, should I say. Hat bands. Press. They still have them. Don't know. Should have. Anyway, so he's talking about something. I don't know. Yes, that there's nothing that can stop him. So basically, he's saying there's nothing can stop him. Anyway, so I've got to wonder what to do. He gets on the phone to somebody important. So 60% men, 90% material is lost. Then we learn that all the planes, the fighters and jets or whatever that went to deal with them, none of them came back. Nothing was effective against them. So he's going out and talk to the reporters now. So then we see natures, but some cowboys as well. It must be footage from a cowboy film. But horses are stampeding, and deer are running away, and birds are flying away. So nature is fleeing for its life. But he's there holding Sylvia, and then she wakes up. They're actually a little bit of this scene were deleted. She wakes up and she sees this tie, and it reminds her of her Uncle Matthew. She starts freaking out, and for some reason they cut that out. Don't know why. She wanted to look a bit more glamorous for this scene, so touched her lips up probably, and they put some false eyelashes on her. Why? Don't know. So they didn't do a soft focus on it, but anyway. Right, so anyway, she realises what's going on. She starts panicking. So there's a farmhouse, so they're going to go there and check it out, and now she's making some really horrible looking eggs. A close up on them. Look at them, look bloody awful. Turn them over, love, turn them over. Cook them yolks. Anywho, I've infiltrated a couple of things, just sticking the pressed paper in my hat. Well, I'm glad to hear it, because that's all it should take. Get to Bilderberg Group and all that stuff. Oh dear. But them eggs look bloody awful. It's got bacon in there as well. But she says, Dan Robinson said, I made those eggs, so it's not going to make any eggs for me, because they look snotty. Them yolks look snotty, and I don't like snotty yolks. Anyway, so here we go. So she's cooking away. He's got some orange juice. You know what Singaporean is for orange juice? Orang Su. I learned that on QI. Just popped in my head. Anyway, where were we? So we learn that Clayton Forrester has no family, and he lives on campus. So it's like, so what meaning that has for the film, I don't know. But we learn he's no family and he lives on campus. But she's from a big family, so that's why she can cook. And anyway, so there they are, talking about what's going to happen. She's saying, they seem to murder everything that moves. Yes, because they want us all to die. Just like in Independence Day. Yes, essentially they're looting, aren't they? Yes, looter scum. It's essentially what they're doing. But, for all we know, it could be a farmhouse that owned by werewolves, like in Dog Soldiers. And their werewolves are out fighting the Martians. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it? Werewolves versus Martians. Or werewolves versus aliens. Somebody's got to have done that. At some surely. Anyway, there she's telling him about when she was young, she got lost and somewhere, and when she was little, and she ended up in a church, and Father Matthew found her. So anyway, so that's what's going to happen later on. That's how he's going to find her later when they get separated. There we go. She was praying for the one who loved me best to come and find her. See, she's saying there's nothing between them. I don't think Anne Robinson liked Jean Barry very much. Anyway. There she says, and then, she thinks about Uncle Matthew, and she says, I'm going to bawl my head off, which, I do regularly. But he says, you're not going to, you're not the kind, you're a strong woman. She says, yes, I am. But then it all kicks off. No, they get under the table. Here we go. because they go, get down, but a cylinder's arriving at the farmhouse, and Brexit, not Brexit, breaks the farmhouse, not makes it leave the European Union. It breaks the farmhouse, there we go, or the set of the farmhouse, there we go, and everything, they got under the table, but then somebody pulled the table away, and all the ceiling fell on them, but they're fine, don't worry. There we go. And there's another one coming as well. We see a few of them, actually, a few cylinders landing in this area. Right, so there's been a passage of time now, because he's been unconscious as Clayton Forrester for hours, and she's mopping his brow. He says, how long was I out? He said, hours. Don't know, 2 hours, 12 hours, don't know. But as it goes, several cylinders came down together. Hang on. That's my favourite Werewolf movie, Dog Soldiers. We did it, didn't we, in Friday Night Appointment with Fear, I think. Sure we did we? I'm sure we have. I think we have. They can battle on the moon for full power. Yes, the werewolves. Obviously, on the moon, they'd be like super werewolves, wouldn't they? But we'd have to wear spacesuits. Don't know. Dog Soldiers is a great movie. Shame the Americans got hold of the script for Dog Soldiers 2 and screwed about with it, so it never got made. Typical. Anyway, where are we? Right, so they're checking things out there. There's a fighting machine just outside with its tripod thing burning the ground. Cool. So there you go. So they're trapped, essentially. They can't get out. This is where we're going to get a... hang on. What happened then? Pardon me. That's it. Yes. The things coming in the house. There it is. That's it. Pardon me. The TV camera. Pardon me. Obviously, the Martians don't have wireless technology, so it's connected to the ship by a big long cable. Cool design though. I do think it looks ace. I love that. It looks like, as it, we mentioned in the one of the commentaries. It does look like a face. It's got a green eye, a blue eye, and a big red mouth. It does look like a face. But obviously the red, green, blue must be where they get their colour perception from. They've got an electronic eye, so it's looking for them. But it doesn't find him. It goes back out. There we go. Off it goes back out. They've got to try and find a way out. But then she sees a Martian through the window. Ah! There you go. And as she looks, there we go. One goes scurrying by. Like that. So the Martians were designed by... I forgot the name again. No, I'm going to have to check. I've forgotten. Hey. Just bear with me. Bear with me. But yeah, hang on. Oh, I forgot the bloody name, and it's not finding it. Where is it now? I've seen it somewhere. Just bear. I'm going to find it. Don't care. We're live. Hey, there we go. Charlie Gamora. That's it. I should remember Gamora because she's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, Charles Gamora and his daughter. I think she's called Diane. I could be wrong. Designed the Martians, and they originally designed a big one that was about 6 foot tall. Because in the book it says they're larger than a bear, didn't they? So they must have thought we'll make a big alien, a big Martian, and then they were told no, we've got to make them small. But they'd already made the arms, which we're going to see in a minute. And they didn't have time to redo the arms. So the Martians have massive arms. So with little bodies, as you can see there. If I go back. Hang on. Whoa, steady. There we go. Really long arms for some reason. Anyway. Are you the navigator? No. Yes, it does look like that, doesn't it? It does look like that. But not with Pee Wee Herman's voice. Paul, what's his face? Anyway, so she's seen, I've just seen one, it was a Martian. And but anyway, they've got to find another way out, so they're going to go up through the attic. There we go. And it starts moving stuff out the way. But as they're doing that, the TV thing comes out, the Pee Wee Herman thing comes. It's a good film, it's like The Navigator, until it goes into the Pee Wee Herman voice. It does me head in. It was great until then, but anyway, it's a cool film. There you go, and she senses it's behind her, and she looks round, it's there looking at her. Ah, look out! So he throws a big bit of wood at it. There we go. Oh no, he hits it with the axe, that's it. Knocks that down. And then chops it off. There we go, with the axe. And there you go, that the rest of it goes back into the fighting machine. Is it going to show it? Have I missed it? There we go, in it goes. What does that sound there? Can't read it. Something is... I have no idea. Something father. Home, father. I have no idea what that says on that sign, that picture. But there it goes, back into the ship. But then we see they carry on moving things out of the way, look. And then we get a glimpse of the shadow. What's that? Obviously a Martian. So anyway, she's doing that. And the famous scene from the film. And she actually couldn't feel it. She couldn't feel it on her shoulder. She had to be cued, to look round and scream. Because she actually couldn't feel it. Actually, it's Charlie Gamora with his arm up in the fake arm with some pull rods or whatever they call them to do the fingers. So there you go. Ah! So, and it's weird, isn't it? Because she looks round, it's just standing there, not even looking at her. So it's like, just standing there, look like that. So he throws his axe at it and. Throws his axe. Shines his light on it, by the way. See all the pulsing veins, because he mentioned the veins are a bit distended, so pulsing veins. So I think Charlie were operating the arms and stuff, and his daughter, I think it was called Diane, I can't remember, something like that, were doing the veins, with like air and stuff, blowing into tubes and stuff like that. Everyone knows, says Harfquest, that Martians only come in green or white. Have they not seen that Supergirl series in Martian Manhunter? I hate the names that they come up with in DC stuff. John Jones. Oh, we'll just spell it a bit differently so it doesn't sound like John Jones, except it does. Whatever. He swings an axe like a girl. Oh dear. He's a scientist. Cut it off while it looked at daisies. So the shines his light at it. Obviously, because it's Martian, it's from a planet that, it's get less sun than us. So it goes, bright light. Like the gremlins, obviously, from Mars. Sorry, Mogwai. Yes, he's going to throw his axe. I think it's his axe. And we hear it scream, which is a scream that is, I've forgotten, it's in my notes. Somewhere in my notes, I'm sure it is. I bet I didn't put it in my notes, but I thought I did. No, I haven't put it in my notes. I thought I did. It was a woman's scream and another noise as well, which I've forgotten what it is, so never mind. Do you know what Martian names normally are? I don't know. Klaatu, etc. So, right. All right. Bundles up the eye thing in Sylvia's scarf, and then he notices there's someone, so he just gives her it back, and then he wraps it in his jacket, and then she says, "Oh, it's all wet, is my scarf." And then he says, "It's blood." And then she freaks out. So is it blood off the Martian, or is it blood off the thing that he cut off, which is... Does that mean it's some sort of biological machine? I don't know. I think it's supposed to be off the Martian somehow. I think it's somehow got its blood on her scarf. but she freaks out. "Ah!" And he tells her, no, it'll be all right. Anyway, they get out. There we go. They go running. I'm going to show it. They go running past here, out here now, on a blue screen shot. So I don't know how long blue screens have been around. But Anne Robinson said it was the first one she'd ever seen, a blue screen, where they just had this fence and stuff and all that. And just a big blue screen, and they put that on afterwards. Their Martians blowing up the house. Klaatu would be a great name for my son. Okay. Right, so then we cut to more narration from Sir Cedric Hardwicke. What is Cedric Hardwicke that were in Ten Commandments? Did he play Seti, Ramesses' dad, Yulbrynner's dad? I think that was Cedric Hardwicke, wasn't it? Anyway. Right, so he's talking about how the Martians, planned it all wonderfully, and then we see footage, a montage of cities being destroyed, and people in meetings, and people running away, and war, and all that stuff. Things blowing up, forest fires. They show this a few times. They show this about 3 times. This building collapsing. Which is apparently in, I think, Naples in the 1940s. I've got that in my notes. I'm sure I've got it in my notes. Bet I haven't. Keep thinking I put stuff in my notes and I bloody haven't. Oh dear. No, I haven't. I could have sworn I put that in my notes. Oh, yes, it is. Right. Okay, right. Yes, Naples. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 1944, which I didn't even know that had happened. But this is what happened, in Naples back in 1944. It'll be all right. Someone just sneezed somewhere. Okay. Gesundheit. Anyway, so it's showing people running away. It's the rout of civilization, the massacre of humanity. And there we see, yay! They've blown up the Eiffel Tower, because that always cops for it. They go for the landmarks. As Jeff Goldblum said, I think in the second one, second Independence Day, which I didn't mind. I thought were fine. Then they said they're using super speed jets to carry messages back and forth, because they don't have satellites, do we now, at this stage? So they've got to rely on super speed jets to get messages back and forth. But showing this, obviously showing where the Martians are, which is fair enough. But showing it in the Americas. Copying for it down there, aren't they? Down in I don't know, what's this? This is Argentina. This is Argentina, isn't it? Argentina-Chile border. Don't know why, they've got a big bunch, because they're there to get all the Inca Maya stuff. They're at Tiwanaku, ancient aliens and all that. That's what they're there for. And they're even up in Greenland. Why? Don't know. They're just there. Anyway, so they're showing them pushing things about. And then we get a glimpse. Hang on. Because it shows Australia briefly. Oh, there we go. See if we can just. We get a glimpse. There we go. A glimpse of Australia there. Only a couple of things there. But when it comes back, Australia's covered. Look, nothing in Australia there. Look, apart from that little bit there, out in the middle of the outback. But then, in a little while, when we go back, there's a massive blob of black triangles in the middle of Australia. So obviously they must have some information. Anyway, she's making Independence Day anime series to continue from the second movie. No, just make another film. They're supposed to do another film, weren't they? Well, they're going to do another trilogy, but cause the second one ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, didn't it? Where we were going on the offensive against the harvesters. That's what they called the aliens, didn't they? Anyway. Right, so General Mann is going to do his diagrams on the chalkboard. You can't call them blackboards anymore, can you? Chalkboard, showing how good he is at at Trivial Pursuit. There he is, drawing his axe. Not Ark of the Covenant, just his axe. His wedges, there he goes, drawing them really well. Saying the Martians, they anchor a point and then sweep across, and then anchor the opposite end, and then sweep across again, and laying waste to whole regions, just like the Ark of the Covenant. So that's how he's describing that. They've lost contact with Montreal and all that stuff. There's the photo from the Los Angeles, the original landing site. I don't know, just showing a big triangle. Don't know, but there you go. There we go. So this is I presume the Secretary of Defence. I don't know, or I don't know. It's some big wig in the government is going to allow them to use the atom bomb. So there we go. They're going to drop a bomb on the original landing site in Linda Rose. And there we go. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention it. There we go. Australia, look. But what happened? What happened in like 2 minutes or whatever? That Australia's just been overrun all of a sudden by loads of Martians. Amazing. What do they want with all that Australian outback? I mean, they're not bothering with the coastal area, which is where 99% of Australia's cities and population are. They're just taking the outback and Ayers Rock and all that stuff. Anyway, so there we go. Then we'll blast them all over the world. Good job Jeff Goldblum's not there. He'd be kicking off, wouldn't he? It can't be allowed. Anyway. Meanwhile, they've finally arrived at Pacific Tech. Oh, it shows it from outside. There we go. Which is apparently this is the writers' building at Paramount, the Paramount lot. It's the writers' building. They just stuck a sign there. So they finally arrived as Sylvia and Clayton Forrester. So there you go. They found an abandoned truck and got there. Right. So he's introducing everybody to Sylvia, and there you go, saying it's an electronic eye. So they'll just plug it in basically and get it to work in a minute. Showing her, and then the Martian blood. There we go. So she has a look. It says it's really anemic. So they may be mental geniuses, but they're very primitive physically. Whatever. Right, so he's got the eye, taking all the case, the housing off, and he's got it plugged in. Must be, I don't know, USB. They've got it plugged in. There we go. The epidioscope. Is that a real thing? I've no idea. They just make it up. I don't know. It's a projector, basically. They've rigged the projector to to show what the Martian eye is showing us. If you're quick, we might see the camera in shadow. Not camera, the microphone in shadow in a minute. I'm sure we do. I thought we did. Maybe we skipped over it. I think we might have skipped over it. I've saved them some embarrassment. I know it's there somewhere. I'm sure I saw it when I was watching it earlier on. Right, let's have a look. Yes, it's there, look. There, look, you see it there. There it is. There it is. Over there. The microphone, boom, just popped into... the shadow of it did. Anyway, so they're going to switch it on. We're going to see what it looks like for the Martians. What we look like. Or what that camera looks like. And there we go. And in the director's commentary, in the audio commentary, they had Joe Dante and Bill Burns and a couple of other people. They were saying they should have done it in 3D. Everybody should have put the 3D glasses on. But actually, a bit later in the film, George Pell actually did want to do it in 3D. They all put goggles on before they dropped the bomb. They all put goggles on, and that's supposed to be the signal to everybody to put their 3D glasses on. And the rest of the film were going to be in 3D, but Paramount said, no, we're not doing any of that rubbish. That's just for rubbishy, cheapo B movies and stuff. We're not doing any of that. And then, not long after, they started doing their own cheapo, rubbishy 3D B movies. Wyngrace says, is educating us now. An epidioscope, also known as an opaque projector or episcope. It's a device that uses a bright lamp to project opaque objects onto a surface from above. Oh, that's not what that's doing, is it? Anyway, it's modified. Anyway, so there we go. That's what they're seeing. That's while the Martians, or that camera at least, sees. There we go. So they'll have a good look at it. I can't move my camera. My wire's stuck. Anyway, never mind. I'm going to try and get up closer. See up my nose. You don't want to see up there. And then for some reason, let's see why I'm so curious about you, Miss Van Buren. He just grabs her and shoves her face into the camera. There we go. I don't want to see. It's horrible. So he drags her away. By the way, I used to have a TV that used to do this. When I was a kid, I always remember when we got our first colour television. It was a Saturday morning because I was watching. I can't remember. I think it might be in the Saturday Banana. So it'll be in like 1978-ish, something like that. I think it was the Saturday Banana. One of the ITV ones. I was usually a swap shop kid, or Saturday Superstar, or whatever we're on at the time. I think it was Swap Shop. And it might have been before Tiz was. I didn't like Tiz was anyway. So one of the other, but it was an ITV one. Either Saturday Banana or the Mersey Pirate. These are the Saturday morning shows that we used to have when I was a kid. Or there another one. But anyway, whatever. We're watching that. And then the new in black and white. And then the new TV arrived, and the man from the rental shop. And it was a colour telly that you put 50p's in the back to keep it going. And anyway, we had it a while, and it was super ace, watching everything in glorious Technicolor. And then for some reason, something broke in it, and then everybody turned green like that. And it took them ages to fix it. It was doing me head in. It was fine if watching The Incredible Hulk. Bill Bixby and all that, except everybody were green all the time. Anyway, but that's there you go. An aside, right? What's saying that Martian blood? Yeah, it's going to talk about what they can do about the Martian blood if they can use it to find a biological, weapon against them. But then he says you can have all the Martian blood you want when they drop the bomb. Hopefully, it doesn't just vaporise them, but. So we're heading over now to watch them drop the bomb. And then we're seeing the flying wing. I've forgotten. Northrop YB-49. I've got it in my notes. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Where are we? See it in my notes. Yes, Northrop YB-49. 2 were built, both crashed. Stock footage was used in the movie. There we go. That's this. It's a cool plane, but it's a pity it didn't. Succeed, but it was kind of reborn as the stealth bomber, I suppose. That's another example of a lifting body, I suppose you could say. Anyway, so here we go. So that's going to take off. It's 1953, so cool plane for 1953, even though it didn't work. But never mind. Here we go. He's off. Look. YB-49, based on the captured German World War II bomber plans. Not surprised. Because some have said what Kenneth Arnold saw. I forgot the bloody name of the plane. Could have been, test flights of another flying wing plane based on German designs. And I forgot what it's called. If I want doing a show, I'd remember. But anyway. Right, so we're at the original landing area, and they're going to drop a bomb on it, an atom bomb. There we go, 4 minutes to bomb time, and everything's fine. They've got sandbags around. The locals have been evacuated to the mountains, and apparently they only had 50 people, so I think the only people we had were like these. And then it said it took photos of it and just superimposed them all over the rest of the thing. So there's just 50 people repeated over and over again, apparently. I don't know what that town is in the background. It's probably a map painting. I don't know. But anyway. This is Paul Frees as supposed to be like a radio reporter, but he's actually recording it onto tape. Isn't it atomic, don't you think? What did I say? What did I say? Did I say nuclear? I don't know. Atomic. When did atomic become nuclear? I don't know. Anyway. Right, so he's recording for the sake of future history. By the way, he's supposed to be doing an impression of Orson Welles, because it does sound a bit like Orson Welles, if you listen.
Future history, if any.
It sounds a bit like Orson Welles, doesn't it? Right, here comes the flying wing. They're going to be safe because they've got their plastic suits on, so they'll be fine. Song lyrics, alright, fair enough. Song with Atomic that I can think off the top of my head is that Blondie one. Atomic, dee, 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 dee. Anyway. Right, so they're all getting ready. They've all got the goggles, look, ready. Here comes the flying wing. He says, here comes the plane. Hang on, he shows it on his radar. Look. So there's the plane. Do you see it? Oh, yeah, there it is. I missed it first time round because I was watching and thought, where is it? There it is, look. Right, he's very smart, isn't it? But he looks really familiar. Is he? I don't know. I don't think he's even, because he's not got a speaking role. But he looks like an actor that were in. I forgot his Longest Day. I think it's Longest Day. I don't know. But he looks very familiar. But he doesn't have a speaking role, and he just looks very neat and tidy, doesn't he? Anyway, right. So getting ready. There we go. They've got a nice matte painting of the area. Did Chesley Bonestell do this as well? Don't know. Maybe he did. But obviously the Martians are expecting trouble because as we look over there, we see all the there we go. The blisters activating. So they must know trouble's coming. They must know. So right, they're getting ready now. Getting ready. They've got the goggles on. 10 seconds. Etc. Then boom! Ah, no! Ah, they're all blind. Oh, hecky thumpers. Yes, it's too late. A big explosion, a big kaboom. There we go. All the trees are getting blown over, and then they're getting blown over. And we see, I think Gene Barry is holding on Sylvia Van Buren's wig. When we see him in a minute. Oh, by the way, forward lookout post or whatever. This is the scene that's basically, reproduced in Independence Day. I didn't think Blondie released that single till later. Yes, a bit after 1953. Yes, just a little bit. Oh dear. I replaced ironic with atomic. All right. Still none the wiser. You know what I'm like. So they're looking through. There we go, and they see that they haven't touched the Martians. There we go. They're still target is still there, or whatever they say in Independence Day. There we go. So it didn't stop them. He's got a cut somehow. So what they're going to do now? They're going to evacuate all the cities, and that's all they can do. Oh, and he suggests. There we go. Clayton Frost suggests that they get all their equipment and go up into the Rocky Mountains and set up a lab and start working on the blood and see if they can find a biological weapon to wipe out the Martians and all that stuff. Everyone will be blind, even with the goggles on. Probably. Now the first alien will sneeze for the first... In a bit. Hang on, by the way, I didn't show the nuclear explosion, did they? Which were kind of cool looking. If it shows it, if I land on it. There we go. Kind of cool. Did it in a studio, just with an oil drum full of something explosive. And they just set light to it, and up it went. And it looked, cool for 1953. Atomic explosion, and it hit the roof of the studio. I think they cut away before it gets that far. Maybe was it? Yeah, but it looks kind of good, Better than using stock footage. I mean, usually they'd just use stock footage, wouldn't they? But yes, Nolan, eat your heart out. You say in any other film they'd have just used, stock footage of a atomic explosion, wouldn't they? But no, they recreated one. But anyway, so there we go. Right, where were we? Right, so here we go. They're going to evacuate. They're heading up to the hills. There you go. And then we see they're pointing at something. Don't know what. Watching the skies. Then we get, the people of Los Angeles are leaving town. And this is the freeway. I can't remember what it's called. Just bear with me. Bear with me. It's called the 4-level interchange. Downtown Los Angeles. This year. I think it's quite famous. I think it was in a lot of films and stuff back then. But it hadn't opened. It opened, I think, late in 1953. But at the time of filming, it hadn't opened. They got permission to use it. So that's why we see shots of people running about and cars driving on it. But it wasn't actually opened. There we go, another shot of it there. Everybody listen carefully. The Martians are coming this way. Run for your lives. Good job Gandalf's not there, isn't he? Stay at your post. Prepare for battle. Anyway, so everybody's leaving town. There we go. But Jeff Goldblum and his father, they're all heading into town on the other side of America. Meanwhile, this kid's just eating all the ice cream. Just checking, make sure there isn't a woody woodpecker around here. He's eating the ice cream. And so is the dog. So that kid's got his priorities right. And the dog has as well. Like I said, they're getting everybody out. There we go. Just footage, there we go. I think this was used quite a lot in the series, wasn't it? When Clayton Forrester were remembering, well, not Clayton Forrester, it was, I forgot the name of the actor. It was supposed to be Clayton Forrester's son, wasn't he? He was remembering this somehow. I don't know how, but don't think he'd even been born, had he? They're taking the patients out of the hospital, taking them to safety. Looking for woody woodpeckers. I think we see a ball going. There we go. Maybe it's a woody woodpecker ball, for all we know. No, it isn't. It's just got a pattern on it. Anywho, there we go. Kids being nice to each other. You can tell it's a fantasy. Right, so here we go. They're all heading out. Meanwhile, back at the lab, look, everything's already starting to go to pot. Clayton's loading up this truck with all their equipment and stuff. The Pacific Tech truck. And all the others are going to get on this school bus, and Sylvia's going to drive it. Maybe she must just be able to. Never take main roads. Take main roads out. Take back roads if you want to live. Sage advice. Wasn't it used in Die Hard 4.0? What used? What? I don't know. Which was 4.0? Oh, that was the one with I forgot his bloody name. That kid that were in Jeepers Creepers. It's that one, in it, with Timothy Olyphant is the baddie. Anyway, whatever. Which wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But anyway. Right, so they're getting ready to leave. So off they go. They're heading out. Clayton's just emptying the fridge, probably getting all the Coke he can, all the Coca-Cola, popping it in the truck. Let's see. So, right, this was filmed at 6 in the morning, apparently. That's why it's really quiet, with a bit of stunt truck driving, and bike riding. Got this timed right, didn't they? I mean, just looking out for woody woodpeckers. You never know, there might be one on the sign somewhere. Somebody had noticed it, wouldn't they? Somebody had noticed it. Right, so here he is driving through again at 6 in the morning, driving through the streets of LA, and he says, Anne Robinson was saying, that they had to dirty up the streets, but then she said, but if you go to LA now, as in 2003 when she did the commentary, it's like that anyway. So LA must be dirty now. Anyway, but then he ends up on the back lot, the Paramount back lot, where everybody's looting and rioting and fighting, and you know, public order has broken down. He's trying to buy a ticket or a place on the truck to get out, and money's no good now, and he gets knocked to the floor, and all his monies and stuff's falling about. Alright, and Clayton arrives with his truck. Here comes another truck, so they're going to grab that. Kind of reminds me a bit of the end of Quatermass and the Pit, you know, when everybody goes crazy. Kind of reminds me of that a bit. Again, this was seen or recreated a little bit in the Spielberg version, wasn't it? But anyway, they've stolen his truck. They take him out, and there we go, and drive away, smashing all the equipment, driving over it. There we go. Whoever these are, the local. I don't know what they're supposed to be. They're like public office. I don't know what they call them. Like the end of the war, like wardens. I don't know what they call them. Look like policemen, do they? Apparently that cat's called Morris. According to Anne Robinson, that's Morris. He's off. So he's saying, you know, they've got to be stopped with that equipment. And they're saying, no, we can't stop them. They've all gone crazy. So, there we go, he's telling them, fighting on all the streets. They're grabbing anything with wheels. So he's going off, running across 6 a.m. Los Angeles. It's cool, you know, last man on earth feel, isn't it? So off he goes. Make sure we're still going. We're getting there. Yeah, we are. Right. So he's looking for the others now. You know, he's looking for the school bus that all the others were in, and can't find it. Then we stop on this. All these clocks. Is it deliberate? I don't know. Way back then in 1953, did George Pal know he was going to be doing The Time Machine, which obviously has a lot of clocks in. Starts off with clocks. I don't know, but anyway, we get this pan to Gene Barry looking in the window, and then he finds that there we go, the school bus sign. Have they just ripped the school bus apart? I don't know. Why does it say school? Why is it in the subtitle? School bus. I don't know, but it is. So he finds that. There we go. Picks up the sign of Southridge. So anyway, then the Martians have arrived now. They go shooting things and blowing stuff up. There we go. Oh, it's all blowing up. And then a jeep with a couple of soldiers or whatever, they arrive and say, get out of here, Martians are coming, jump in, we'll give you a lift. And he's saying, I'm looking for a school bus with people on and from Pacific Tech, etc. And he says, you know, whatever. And he tells them to go. And and they blow up City Hall, apparently an 8-foot model, that was apparently. So they blow that up. And he tells them to go. So he's going to go start looking in the churches now, because he remembers the conversation from earlier on when she got lost as a kid. She ended up in a church and Uncle Matthew found her. Or the one person that loved her the most, because that's what she prayed for. Because it's going to get all religious in a minute, is this film. So he knows to look in churches. There we go, he finds a church. Don't ask me which ones it is. Does it say in the... Let's have a look what we got. Churches, right, here we go. Westminster, there we go. Westminster Presbyterian Church is this one. First Church Forester Searchers. Because I think it goes in 3 churches. There's also St Brendan's Catholic Church. And, that's all it says. No. Well, it does look in 3 churches. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know. But anyway, I need to re-watch Falling Skies again. I've never even watched it, never mind re-watched it. Right, so we're going to check out this church, but she's not in there. It goes in, but they're all praying. But she's not there. There he's asking there, he's looking, we're in a church near the door, so he's got to go in another church. There's LA burning. Very Irwin Allen-ish. Right, so I was going to try somewhere else. There's some more fighting machines. No. Imagine coming around corner seeing that. Crap myself. And he finds another church. This might have been shot in the studio, maybe, because it didn't show the outside of it, did it? But in this church, he finds a couple of his friends. Don't ask me the names, I've forgotten. There they are. Two of his scientist friends, and they say, a mob descended on the bus, and the got separated from Sylvia and the others. So there we go. Dupré, Bilderbeck. There we go. So he's got to carry on looking. So he's got to look for another church. Everything's all blowing up. Look. Oh my! Is this the Bob Hope sign? Hang on. Wait a minute. There's a sign that says Bob Hope. There it is. The Bob Hope sign. Apparently he was contracted to Paramount as well. Apparently. So I thought stick a sign with Bob Hope on it. By the way, at the beginning of the film at the cinema in Linda Rosa was Samson and Delilah, which was a Cecil B. DeMille film. And apparently Cecil B. DeMille were in the works to direct War of the Worlds way back when, but he ended up not getting round to doing it. And then when George Powell got the gig, he wanted Cecil B. DeMille to do the voiceover at the beginning, but Cecil B. DeMille says, no, get Sir Cedric Hardwicke in to do it. So there we go. So yes, so it was Sir Cedric Hardwicke, because Ten Commandments was a Cecil B. DeMille film, wasn't it? So yes, there we go. Anyway, there we go. They're blowing shit up again. Sorry for swearing, but they are. That's what they're doing. He's looking for another church. There he goes. He finds another church. In he goes, and I'm sure it had like a Mandela effect that I saw somewhere that this was supposed to be Billy Graham, but it's not. It's I've forgotten his name. I looked him up and I've forgotten. Where is it? I've forgotten. Russ Conway, that's who it is. Reverend Bethany, Russ Conway. But I'm sure I saw somewhere that in the documentary or something that this was Billy Graham. But anyway, never mind. It isn't. Anyway, so they're praying. And then the Martians blow up in a minute. That stained glass window. But anyway, find Sylvia. They're all praying, look. And there we go, shouting Sylvia. And this scene kind of reminds me a bit from Close Encounters. When Roy and Gillian, their eyes lock across a crowd and they fight through the crowd to get to each other. That scene that has briefly Carl Weathers in. Kind of reminds me of that. Look, there we go, they're across the crowd. So anyway, they're reunited through the crowd. There we are, look. There they are. But then the Martians are coming shooting things, because that's all they know how to do, because they're troublemakers. Here they come. And then we're all praying. But then, hang on, have I missed a bit? Then, oh look, it shoots. Hang on, let's go again. There we go. Smashes the stained glass window and makes things fall, and I presume they're not well under there, because that lands on them as well. And they're all, oh no. But then, as Sci-Fi Quest said earlier on, they're starting to sneeze inside. Hang on, Steve, you need to watch Falling Skies. I think you'll find it okay. Maybe so, but I haven't got time. Is it on? I've seen it. So is it on Disney Plus, or is it on? I've seen it somewhere on one of the streaming services. I remember seeing it on a streaming service somewhere. I've been watching the X-Files actually. Yesterday I watched the X-Files. Don't know why. I just fancy watching the X-Files. Season 3 I'm up to. Anyway. There we go. So something's happening. They all start crashing to the war machines. Like, I'm going the wrong way. Like that. Which were done with a vacuum cleaner. I think the noise with a vacuum, switching off a vacuum cleaner or something. That noise. It's just a vacuum cleaner. Anyway, here it comes crashing. Into this awning, this blue striped awning. Notice that. Remember that thing. Here it comes. Down. Because we see that again when another one crashes. It's just a mirrored shot of that. but taken, I think, a little bit further back. I think it's a slight difference, but it's the same awning. So obviously, maybe they shot it from 2 angles. I don't know, but anyway. So they notice it's gone all quiet now. Why has it gone all quiet? So they go outside and they see, oh no, it's crashed as that one. And then the door opens and we get a little sucker fingers coming out. Again, good old, I forgot the name again. Charles Gamora, alien. Never heard of him from anything else. He must have done other things because amazing work in this film. There it is, dragging its arm out, and then it dies. It turns from red to green in a minute. Hang on. I don't know what view that is. That its view through the thingy. And there we go. There's the other one crashing into the same awning. I don't know if it's a reverse mirrored shot or if it's just the same shot from a different angle. I don't know, but that's another one crashing. And oh, there we go. It's going to turn to green. It's going to die, and then it's going to start withering away as we suck all the air out of the veins and stuff. And he goes up to it, says it's dead because he just knows, because he knows where they've got a pulse. It seems. Anyway, it was not the best ending. Than most modern sci-fi shows, but better than most modern sci-fi shows. Don't forget to watch the Lone Gunman series on your rewatch. It were alright with the Lone Gunman. Didn't last long, did it? But it were alright. Predicted 9/11, didn't it? Genuinely. I do wish they made Battle Los Angeles 2. I like that film. Yeah, it's a good film, is that? And we did it a while ago, didn't we, on Magnificent Mondays. It's dead because obviously he knows where their pulse is. But there we go. He has a look up just to make sure. Seen an alien like that. There we go. So they're dead, and there we go. And then Cedric Hardwicke comes on and explains to us that as soon as they, breathed our air, because obviously not said they're mental geniuses, but they didn't predict, germs. Did they? But as soon as they breathed our air, germs which we are immune to now got to work and basically killed them. They died of a cold, of a virus, not a computer virus, an actual virus. It's showing all them coming down, and just like in Independence Day, which obviously came later, a lot later. There we go. There's Paris. Yay! That's what Paris will look like after the Olympics. But see, the Taj Mahal's caught for it there, hasn't it? I think there's another one, wasn't there? Have I missed out? There we go. There's Rio de Janeiro, and they're all still in the hills, looking to the sunrise or sunset, I don't know. And we get a hallelujah, because God in His wisdom had put germs on the earth to save us from Martians. So anyway, because apparently George Powell were quite religious, but I think H.G. Wells did put that in the book. I've not read War of the Worlds all the way through. I started reading it. I've got it somewhere. I've got it on Kindle somewhere. But it's a bit hard work. It's a bit Victorian. So I've not read it all the way through. But apparently at the end it does have the line, the microbes and bacteria that God in His wisdom had put on the earth. So that's the reason that they've got this. And then it shows a church. And then they're going, Amen. And it says the end. There we go. The end. That's the end of War of the Worlds. Classic film. One of the best of all time, in my opinion. It's super cool. Hang on. There we go. We'll look at Paris burning. Yeah, super cool. But Sci-Fi Quest says, we had 5 seasons of Falling Skies. I think they rushed the finale season because it could have gone on like SG-1. It does ring a bell. I might have started watching. I might have seen like the first episode or something. I can't remember. But anyway, I'll give it a look up and see if I can find it anyway. But anyway, whatever. That's by the by. So War of the Worlds. Pardon me. Would get a sequel series in 1988, starring Jared Harris. No, it's not Jared Harris. That's Richard Harris's son, isn't it? It's Jared Summer. I'm going to have to look it up now. What of the world's TV series? Not the 2019 one, you silly buggers. There we go, 1988. Jared Martin, that's the fella, Jared Martin. From Fantastic Journey. Used to like that when I was a kid. Linda Mason Green, Richard Chavez, who were Poncho in Predator. There we go. So, and season 1 were quite good, apparently. I'm going to have to try and find it. Is it on the streaming service? It's got to be somewhere, hasn't it? I'll look on Amazon, see if it's on there, and give it a watch. I remember it being quite gruesome, particularly in the pilot episode, with like Martians taking over people and then bursting out alien-like style. But anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. We're all done. So the world is saved by germs. It is it's not like a super happy ending, even though humans have won. The Earth is still decimated, kind of, by the Martians. It's not a we are super ace, because we didn't win, did we? It wasn't down to us. It were down to germs that saved us. But I'm sure back on Mars, the Martians are working out that just wear masks, wear a mask, and stay 6 feet. Wear a mask and stay 6 feet from anybody else, and you'll be fine, and they'll come back and finish their job. Right, so we'll leave it there. Right, what's coming up next? Am I pressing the right buttons? Yes, I am. What's coming up next? Wednesday will be my news, probably. I always say that, just in case I can't be bothered. Right, Friday. It's over there. Hang on. No, never mind. Friday's appointment with Fear this week is The Devil Rides Out. And my Hammer box set's over there, so never mind. Is The Devil Rides Out, starring Christopher Lee and others. Patrick Allen's voice is in it as well. He's overdubbed one of the main characters. Why? Dunno. He just has. So that's on Friday, and the next Mondays, Magnificent Mondays, is Sphere, starring Dustin Hoffman, Sharon Stone, Samuel L. Jackson, and I think Peter Coyote, and it's a guilty pleasure. I really like Sphere. It gets a lot of stick. I think the ending's crap, but I still like the film. So we'll leave it there. So thanks Sci-Fi Quest, thanks Josh Temple and Windgrace, thanks for the $2 super chat, which is cool. Don't forget, check out my Patreon. I'm supposed to be doing I started recording another in Magical Monochrome, but I'm going to have to finish it. I couldn't finish it, I got interrupted and stuff happened, so I'm going to have to finish that off at some point. So that'll be up on the Patreon when I finish it. I'll try and do it tomorrow. Anyway. And don't forget to check the shop and all that stuff. Right, so thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. Watch out for Martians. And until next time, I'll see thee.